What happens at the state opening of Parliament? The state opening of Parliament is one of the most symbolic and historically rich ceremonies in the United Kingdom, marking the official beginning of the parliamentary year. This occasion is steeped in tradition and pageantry, offering a unique insight into the British monarchy, the government, and the nation's legislative process. Here's a closer look at what happens during this grand event, its history, purpose, and significance. The history and purpose of the state opening of Parliament. The state opening of Parliament has roots dating back to medieval England, when the monarch would call together Parliament to discuss matters of governance, finance, and policy. It traditionally marks the start of a new parliamentary session, allowing the government to present its legislative agenda to both houses of Parliament. While the details of the ceremony have evolved over the centuries, the event remains an essential part of British constitutional practice, bridging the monarchy and the Parliament in a single ceremonial function. Historically, the event's rituals served as a display of the monarch's authority, a way to garner loyalty, and a moment for the government to outline its intentions. Over time, however, as the political system shifted from absolute monarchy toward a constitutional framework, the event's focus gradually shifted to emphasize Parliament's role in governance and the monarch's symbolic function. Preparation and procession to the Palace of Westminster. Preparation for the state opening begins weeks in advance, involving careful coordination between the royal family, Parliament, and numerous officials. Traditionally, the ceremony is held at the Palace of Westminster, the home of the British Parliament, and is typically attended by members of the House of Commons, the House of Lords, and key government officials. On the day of the event, the monarch travels from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster in a grand procession. This journey is often undertaken in the Gold State Coach, an ornate, gilded carriage reserved for significant state occasions, accompanied by the sovereign's escort of the household cavalry. Thousands of people gather to watch this elaborate spectacle, which reflects centuries of royal tradition and military precision. Upon arrival, the monarch is greeted with a salute from the military, signaling the beginning of the formalities. The state opening of Parliament is unique among state events because it showcases the monarch in the context of the constitutional role rather than as a ruling figure. The role of the Lords and the House of Commons. Inside the House of Lords chamber, lords and other invited dignitaries await the arrival of the monarch. The chamber, decorated in vibrant red, contrasts with the House of Commons green, a visual reminder of the historic division between the upper and lower houses. Members of the House of Commons, however, do not attend the main ceremony. Instead, they gather in the Commons chamber and wait to be summoned by Black Rod, an official responsible for maintaining order in the Lords. Black Rod's entry into the Commons chamber symbolizes the relationship between the Crown and Parliament, underscoring the independence of the Commons. When Black Rod enters to summon them, the door is traditionally slammed in their face, a symbolic gesture reflecting the Commons' autonomy from the monarchy. After the knock is repeated, the door is opened, and members of Parliament follow Black Rod to the House of Lords, where the monarch awaits. The Queen's, or King's, speech. One of the most anticipated aspects of the state opening is the delivery of the Queen's, or King's, speech. Although the speech is read by the monarch, it is written by the Prime Minister and government ministers, outlining the legislative priorities and policies for the upcoming session. This speech does not contain the monarch's personal views. Rather, it serves as a formal statement of the government's intentions for new laws, reforms, and international policies. The speech typically addresses various themes and areas, such as economic plans, national security, healthcare, education, social welfare, and foreign relations. By convention, the monarch remains neutral, meaning the speech is delivered in an impartial tone without expressing personal opinion or endorsement. This neutrality underscores the constitutional role of the British monarchy, which acts above party politics and represents continuity and stability rather than political influence. Following the reading of the speech, the monarch departs from the House of Lords, and members of both houses of Parliament begin the work of debating and considering the proposals outlined in the speech. Symbolic traditions and their meanings. The state opening is filled with symbolic traditions, each representing different facets of British history and constitutional principles. The imperial state crown and regalia. Before delivering the speech, The monarch wears the imperial state crown, symbolizing royal authority and responsibility. The crown, along with other regalia, such as the cap of maintenance and sword of state, is brought from the Tower of London specifically for the event. The hostage. Before the monarch travels to Westminster, a member of Parliament is taken hostage at Buckingham Palace. This unusual tradition dates back to a time when the relationship between the Crown and Parliament was more adversarial, and it ensured the monarch's safe return from Parliament. Black Rod. As an official in the House of Lords, Black Rod's ceremonial role of summoning the Commons emphasizes the separation of powers within the British political system and the Commons' independence from the monarchy. Slam door. When Black Rod approaches the House of Commons, the doors are shut in their face, a symbolic act rooted in historical resistance to royal influence over parliamentary decisions. These rituals, while sometimes viewed as pageantry, carry historical significance, reminding participants and viewers alike of the centuries-old struggle to define and balance the powers of government and the monarchy. Political and social significance. Beyond tradition, the state opening of Parliament holds considerable political and social importance. It provides a moment for the government to publicly communicate its goals, thus allowing for accountability. Following the Queen's, or King's, speech, members of Parliament engage in days of debate, dissecting the proposed legislative agenda. This scrutiny helps ensure that policies are openly discussed, criticized, and refined before formal proceedings begin. The state opening also attracts significant media coverage, offering the public insight into the government's priorities. In a nation where constitutional monarchy persists alongside a robust democracy, this event exemplifies a balance between ceremonial heritage and practical governance, blending history with contemporary politics in a way that resonates with citizens. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.